What's up, everybody? Good evening. Everybody, East, West, North, South, worldwide. Welcome to Locked On Sports 216 Browns Show. This your man, Keith Allen. As you all know by now, the Browns have lost to the Seattle Seahawks in the last minute, 24-20, in a highly contested contest. A game, honestly, the Browns should have won. Man, damn. Should have won, should have won, should have won, should have won. But first off, before I go into the Browns game and everything, stuff like that, very disappointing loss. First, the chat lines is open. Hit a brother up. Holly, I'm on solo tonight. Hit a brother up. Holla at me. Also, at the bottom, scrolling, subscribe to the Viz Media 2 YouTube channel. That's right. Subscribe to the Alan Viz Media 2 YouTube channel. Like, share, and hit the bell. Get notified whenever material comes on live on this channel and stuff. But all I can say is the Browns lost 24-20 to the Seattle Seahawks in a game where, shit, Browns should have won this game. They had this game for real. Now, I ain't gonna lie. In the beginning, it didn't look too good. In the beginning, they fell behind 14-0, 17-7. But the Browns came back and took the lead, 20-17. But during that time when they took the lead, in the third quarter, when it was up 20-17, they had an opportunity at the Seattle Seahawks 8-yard line where PJ Walker made a throw he shouldn't have made in the double coverage, and he had Elijah Moore wide open in the middle. And I said to myself, even though they took the lead at 20-17, I said to myself, they're going to have to score 7 more points to beat this team here in Seattle. They're going to score again. I mean, they had countless opportunities. And I'm going to go over some of the points of the game that I said earlier in the pregame show, which I said, number one, on offense, the Browns are going to have to play a clean football game, which means no turnovers. I mean, this just can't be real. Almost every Browns game, except maybe for last week, we lost the turnover margin. Every game, except maybe for the Indianapolis game. Every week, we done lost the turnover margin. Today, that reared its ugly head again. 3 turnovers, all courtesy of the quarterback, PJ Walker. Do you know that the quarterbacks done accounted for almost 90% of the turnovers for the Browns this year? 90%. Which means they done had a host of running backs running the ball this year. You've only had, one fumble by the running backs. Now it's by Jerome Ford in game 1 against Cincinnati. You only had 1 fumble by a tight end. That was Njoku against Pittsburgh. And you had a fumble by Elijah Moore. I think it was against Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. But our quarterback's play is killing us. It's killing the Browns. Good Lord. It is killing the Browns. And playing up there in Seattle, no, if the Browns, let's just say this. If the Browns don't turn the ball over in the game today, they win this game. And they probably win it going away. But 3 turnovers, and the last one was a killer. It was definitely a killer. A lot of people I done seen on other podcasts and stuff, whatnot. I done seen comments, people going in on Coach Stefanski calling the plays and stuff like that. Now, I will say this: for the most part, for the most part, he called. For the most part, he called a decent game, but there were times, and especially late in the game, where that interception cost them on a 3rd and 3, which ultimately cost them the ball game with that interception on a 3rd and 3. Because, like I said earlier today in the pregame, it's better for a possession to end either in a touchdown, field goal, or a punt. Or a punt. See, it's a whole different set of circumstances when Seattle has to drive from their 20 or drive from their 10-yard line with a minute and 50 left. Whole bunch of different circumstances. Because possession ended in a punt. It ain't no momentum changer or whatnot. The defense still got the whole field, basically. But when you turn the ball over and it's at the Seattle, what's at the Seattle 40-yard line, 45-yard line, or whatever. Very short field. You put the defense at a disadvantage, a huge disadvantage, very huge disadvantage for the defense. And to be honest, I'm going to tell you this right now. When Seattle scored that touchdown with 38 seconds left, I knew it was a wrap. Because if you think PJ Walker is going to lead the Browns down the field 80 yards with 38 seconds left, that shit ain't happening. That's just being real. That shit ain't happening. Now, I will say this. A lot of people is putting heat on Stefanski and everything. But I'm also going to say this. His situational play calling and pulse of the game sometimes just straight up drive me crazy. Straight up sucks. In a situation like that on the road, with 2 minutes left or whatever and stuff, might as well just run the ball. If you get the first down, you get the first down. If not, you punt and put Seattle back deep in their own territory and make it a longer field in order for them to score. You don't make it a shorter field by putting the game in PJ Walker's hands. And like I said, people are saying I was hard on PJ Walker during the week. But like I said, PJ Walker is a turnover machine. For real, just being straight up. He's a turnover machine. But that doesn't absolve defense either. Because I also said during the pregame that the defense cannot give up big chunk plays. What they did, gave up big chunk plays in the game. Walker had a big run. Then in the last minute, couple of big chunk play passes. I don't know what the defense was doing on that last drive of the game with Seattle. But after that first quarter, the defense literally shut the Seahawks down until the last drive of the game. For real. They shut the Seahawks down. Because if you look at some things on here, like I seen some things on here as far as stats and all that, even though stats don't mean jack. If you look at it, the Cleveland Browns had 23 first downs to Seattle 17. Totally outplayed this team. And think of this with a XFL quarterback. Rushing yards. The Browns, no Nick Chubb, still ran for 155 yards rushing. Now, my question is, to Stefanski is why Kareem Hunt went in the game late. Passing yards, the Browns 230, Seattle 248. Total yards, the Browns outgained Seattle 385 to 362. And that's with the third string quarterback, XFL quarterback. Sacks, we only had one. Seattle had three. Interceptions thrown, both tied at two. We only had four penalties today, folks. Four. One fumble, one loss. PJ Walker. Now passing today, PJ Walker was 15 of 31 for 248 yards, one touchdown, and two interceptions. Passers rating of 59.6. Geno Smith was 23 of 37 for 254, two TDs, two interceptions, passers rating of 78. Kareem Hunt led the Browns in rushing, 14 carries for 55 yards. Kenneth Walker led Seattle in rushing, 8 carries for 66 yards. David Njoku led the Browns in receptions, 4 receptions for 77 yards. And Tyler Lockett led Seattle with 8 receptions and 81 yards. Thing is, the Browns should have left out of Seattle with a victory today. And I said this during the pregame show, and I wish I was wrong. Honestly, I thought I was going to be wrong when I said the Browns' string of luck runs out today. But the main thing with the Browns is you can't keep giving the ball away. Turnovers is killing this team. Think about this. If you look at it, glass half full, Browns really should be 6-1. Glass half full. Pittsburgh game, turnovers lost that game. Other than that, they physically dominated the Steelers. For real, for real. Today, turnovers killed them again. After you take away the first quarter, the Browns physically pounded and dominated Seattle in quarters 2, 3, and mostly 4. If you look at time of possession in this game, the Browns had the ball for almost 37 minutes to Seattle's 23 minutes and 20 seconds. Should have added up to a Browns victory, but unfortunately, it somehow became a Browns loss. And I'm going to say this. These are the games that you have to get. Now, all hope is not lost. They're 4-3. But now, we're back in third place because we're behind Pittsburgh, who lost today. And I think Cincinnati is still behind us. But Cincinnati, I think, won today. I think they played San Francisco. Let me see if they won today. Let's see. Let's scroll down here and look. Yeah, Cincinnati Bengals won 31-17. And the Ravens, they're in another time zone. They won today against Arizona 31-24. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Between now and October 31st, because I'm going to be honest, you can say this loss is on Kevin Stefanski. You can put that loss on him. But actually, to be truthful, this loss is on the front office. The front office, Andrew Berry and company, Andrew Berry, Dee Podesta, Jimmy Haslam, this loss is on y'all. Because you took the backup quarterback position for granted. You took the backup quarterback position for granted. And we're going to see in the next couple of days or what you're going to do to fix that. Because to be honest, I'm going to tell you the truth. And I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear this. Deshaun isn't going to be the same the rest of this year, for real, for real. With that partially torn rotator cuff or micro tear in his rotator cuff, that injury is not going to heal in a couple of weeks. That's like a 6-month injury. They didn't need to rest, or he can get the surgery, but he probably won't be Deshaun Watson all this season. And right now, the best case scenario is for him because he probably aggravated it last week because they were so starved to push him on out there. And he wasn't ready because he's not going to play against Arizona. I'll be shocked. And then after Arizona, you have to win that game. Then after Arizona, you have you have Baltimore and Pittsburgh. And them games you're gonna have to win. Definitely. You gotta win this Arizona game, especially. Because if you go into Baltimore Pittsburgh at 4-4 instead of at least 5-3, the dams might bust. For real. See, this is why when they was 4-2 last week, I was saying they need to get another backup quarterback. A competent one. Because the competent one wins this game. I mean, PJ Walker had dudes open, but he was going to, it was like it was one of those things where he was predetermined in his read. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here. Whether they was double teaming or not. Like that play on 3rd and goal at the 8. Elijah Moore was wide open up the middle. Would have been an easy walk-in score. But he went to the outside for Amari Cooper. And he was covered. Lucky the ball wasn't picked off. And like I said, for these next 2 days, we are going to see if the Browns management and ownership is serious about this team winning this year. Or are they going to just select the punt as they've done the last couple of years? We're definitely going to see. It's time for them to put their money where their mouth is. Because this is the year you got to go all in. And you got to find a competent backup QB because they totally disregarded the position in the first place by trading away Josh Dobbs. And Josh Dobbs wasn't a world beater by no means, but he would have been competent enough. Competent enough. And like I said, I'm not poo-pooing on PJ Walker because he's did an okay job for the circumstances, but it's not enough. It's not enough. Hey, the Browns showed that they cared about winning when they got K York up out of here. Dude was missing field goals left and right in preseason. And I said he needs to be gone. And they jettisoned him out of here. All I'm saying is the Browns got to make a move in the next couple of days. And we will see if the Browns front office and ownership is about that life for real. We will definitely see if they're about that life. Because they got to get a backup quarterback. And they need one badly. Because to be honest, you could say it was Stefanski's fault and everything and stuff like that. But at the same time, he only rolling with what he got out there. He out there in a race with He out there with a race with big magnums. Not a magnum, no, 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 no. He out there in a race with Chargers, with Dodge Chargers, and he has a Chevette at the quarterback position. He has two Chevettes and getting max out of that. Because just imagine if he had Brissett. Brissett wasn't bad last year. It was just our defense was terrible. Our defense was deplorable. This year, the defense gives you a fighting chance to be in every game and win every game. If we get just 60 to 70% quarterback play, this team can beat anybody. This team would be in it with anybody in any game. If we can get that. Because the defense kept them in the game. But you can't turn the ball over. I mean, PJ Walker threw an interception when they was driving. And they was driving. That was another score that cost. That was another possible score they could have had. But on the last play, it's like you just run it and you lean on your defense for a longer field. It's a lot better, a lot more easier when you got Seattle at their own 20 or own 15-yard line or even 10-yard line, because the punter Bjorkes was booming them. He was booming the punts all day when he was punting. Sometimes in situations, Koffo, sometimes you got to punt and put it on your defense. You can't just go out there and put the game in the hands of your third string quarterback, for real, for real. So, but I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this. If the Browns don't get another quarterback, I wouldn't even be shocked if DTR gets another chance. At home against Arizona, if you give him a whole week of game planning and strategy, I think he can make some of those throws and predetermined reads that PJ Walker couldn't. If you give DTR a whole week, sincerely, of practice time, first team reps, and coaching. But everybody knows Kevin's situational coaching leaves a lot to be desired. Because you can say, yeah, he shouldn't have ran a pass on 3rd down and 3. You can say that. But also, there's a couple plays that if PJ recognizes the reads and does what he has to do, we win this football game. Period. But like I said, when he missed that throw to Amari Cooper on the side on the 3rd and goal, but he had Elijah Moore streaking wide open down the middle. All he had to do was toss it there and it'd been a touchdown. That's on the quarterback. Because Kevin only doing what he can do with what he has. For real, for real. And I told my guy, I was like, he's a turnover machine. My guy didn't believe me. He was like, well, he's pretty good. I was like, nah, I wouldn't go far as that. He's a turnover machine. You watch and see. When they lose a game, you'll see what I'm talking about. And like I said, I wish my ass was wrong, for real, but unfortunately, I was right. And that sucks. And just to think, if the Browns would have pulled this game up, they would have entered my top 10. That entered my Locked On Sports 216 top 10 teams of the week. But such is not the case. Such is not the case. Now, my top 10 teams go like this. My number 10 team, I didn't name on the show Thursday, but number 10 is Detroit. Somebody asked me, do I think Kevin will get a new deal? Ah, good question. Very good question. Good question. Ah, that for Kevin to get a new deal, think, think. I will say this, Dink. If things go south this year, if things go south this year, they might not fire Kevin because fairly, unfairly, however you might say it, the quarterback position is trash. For real, for real. We probably should be 2-5 based on if we go on quarterbacks QBR, we should probably be in the bottom third of the league. But as far as him getting a new deal, I don't know. I can see a situation where next year he will be back, but if I was the Browns, and even if he does come back next year, I would have to say he has to give up play calling, where I can actually honest and truly evaluate him as a coach, where he can manage the whole team instead of worrying about just offense. And just let the guys under him, like Van Pelt, Alex Van Pelt, somebody, do their job. I would say right now, it's still on hold. I don't think you'll get a new deal right now. They'll probably just wait till next year and everything. For real, for real. To be honest, though, but if you really think about this, Andrew Berry is skating on thin ice, too. Because you got a good team, but you underestimated the backup QB position. You put it really in the hands of a rookie. A rookie. It wasn't like with Brock Purdy last year, where Purdy had Garoppolo and Trey Lance in front of him, and then unfortunately both of them got hurt. Wasn't like that. DTR was number two. And like I said, I figured DTR was going to make the team. Yeah, true. But not second string. Hell no. Not second string. No, 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 no. Third string. Get a proven veteran as a backup. Get a Carson Wentz or somebody. Make a trade. Get Jameis Winston or somebody. Somebody that can come right in and play ball. Because the one thing, everybody said, well, he wasn't prepared to play and all that. I get that. But in the NFL, you are only one play away from starting. You're only one play away from being that guy. Think about this. The Browns did it with the running back position. Nick Chubb went out. They went and got Kareem Hunt. Snap, just like that. 2 days after Chubb went down. They got to react with that same urgency with the quarterback position. Because this year, Kevin can't worry about next year or a new deal. He might not last past this year. For real, for real. He might not last past this year. But next week they play Arizona. Arizona is like, yes, he does. Yes, he does. Oh, I'm gonna fuck. I done messed up right there. Okay. Yes, he does. Strong does look better than Ford. I like Strong. Strong goes up the hole. He goes right at you, right up the middle. He doesn't tiptoe when he has to go up the middle. Ford, I like Ford, but he's a east and west runner. And he has a habit of tiptoeing when he has to go up the gut. He has a bad habit of that. Now, my thing is this: why they didn't have Strong and Hunt on the field together on that third down and just went big, just went jumbo on a 3rd and 3. Then if it's 4th and 1, then hey, leave it up to chance. You leave it up to chance. Yeah, Strong does look better than Ford. I know he runs up the hole. Ford is east and west, and east and west is okay, but when you get them teams like Seattle, teams of real fast perimeter ball players, you gotta get damn near lucky sometimes on the north and south. You gotta go up the gut through between the tackles. You gotta definitely do that. But this team, this team kills me. I'm gonna be honest. This team should be 6-1. 6-1 with a quarterback from the XFL. Imagine that. They should have been 6-1. They should have won this game. They outplayed Seattle. Pete Carroll probably left off that field like, whew, thank goodness. Oh my God. Thank you, Kevin, for calling that play. Like I told people, PJ Walker is a walking turnover waiting to happen. And I ain't nothing against PJ Walker for how for what it was. He played well, but he didn't play well enough. Because really, PJ should have had about 300 yards passing and about 2 or 3 touchdowns. And the Browns should have won this game. And they may be looking back later on like, damn, we let go of one that we should have had. I mean, for real. Which makes next week's game very important against Arizona. Old friend Josh Dobbs will be coming back to town. Now, just imagine that. If we lose to Josh Dobbs, this city would be up in arms. They'll be all demanding that Stefanski get hung, get fired. They'll be demanding that Stefanski get fired. If they lose to Arizona like 1-6. Man. Now let me ask y'all a question. Do you think the Browns should start DTR? Or at least give DTR a look in that game? Because I knew they weren't going to play him in this game. You know, they did play him in one snap play, which he got the toss together for Njoku, which was a positive sign for DTR. See some positivity in his play. But, hey, that's why they play the games. But let me break down my top 10 real quick. Detroit plays tomorrow against Las Vegas. The Lions are 5-2. They took that L to Baltimore last week. Number 9, the Seattle Seahawks. They beat the Browns 24-20. Seattle now is 5-2 and in first place in the NFC West because number 8, San Francisco, took it on the chin to the Cincinnati Bengals 31-17. Number 7, the Buffalo Bills. They took care of business Thursday night by defeating Baker and the Tampa Bay Bucks 24-18. The Buffalo Bills are chilling at home right now. Number 6, the Dallas Cowboys. They rammed the Rams. I don't even know what the score was. I think it was like 40-23, something like that. But they gave the Rams a can of whoop, you know what. Number 5, the Miami Dolphins, they defeated the New England Patriots. Number 4, the Jacksonville Jaguars went into Pittsburgh and defeated the Steelers. And think about this. I got to give Jacksonville some credit because their game looked it just like when the Browns played Pittsburgh in September and looked like when the Ravens played Pittsburgh in September. They was dominating the Steelers and all that and everything, but turnovers came back to bite both the Browns and the Ravens. But the Jaguars pressed through and got the victory. Number 3, the Baltimore Ravens. They defeated the Arizona Cardinals, so who we play next week, 31-24. Number 2, Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. They flew over Washington, 38-31. Eagles had to come from behind, too. And number 1 is the Kansas City Chiefs, and I don't know what they did today. I knew last time I looked, they was trailing Denver. They was trailing them like 14-9. Let me look and see. What did they do? Let me look and see. Let me scroll down here and look. Wow. Kansas City Chiefs got upset by Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos 24-9 in the snow in Denver. So it looks like I'm going to have a new number 1 and a new number 2. Damn. They got beat by the Broncos. Matter of fact, that's 2 straight for the Broncos, if I ain't mistaken. 2 straight. So all's not lost in Denver. See, this is why the Browns have got this. They got to start getting these games that they're supposed to win. You got the 2 that you probably should have lost. Now you got to get the ones that you're supposed to get. Because look, Denver done won 3 games. Cincinnati is right next to you. Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh got you on a tiebreaker because they already beat you once. And Buffalo, they're 5-3. Nobody's running away nowhere in the AFC. And that's my top 10 right there. But that top 10 gonna probably change by Tuesday. By Tuesday it'll change because I have a new top 10 and I'm gonna start posting them online every Wednesday. That'll be my top 10, the Locked On Sports 216 NFL Hot 10. Every Wednesday. That'll be from now on for the rest of the season's duration. Regular season duration, anyway. And damn, you know what's messed up? If the Browns would have pulled it out today, I would have put them in the top 10. I had them number 12. I had them behind Pittsburgh. I had to put them behind Pittsburgh just to be fair because Pittsburgh beat us back in September. I can't put them ahead of Pittsburgh. And our quarterback is worse than theirs. That don't make no damn sense. That don't make no damn sense at all. But, well, don't look like the Browns gonna get in my top 10 anytime soon right now. They just better win against Arizona next week. And to all y'all, be sure to tune in tomorrow to Mad Mondays at 7 p.m. with me, Voodoo, and Sean C. As we talk about some of the crazy stuff that goes on in the world of whatnot, in the world of hip hop, sports, politics, whatever. And then get your adult convo on every Saturday at 5 p.m. with me, Nasty Nell, and Romeo Rodriguez, the Triad Committee. Every Saturday at 5 p.m., get that adult convo on. And also, don't pay attention to them lists that the ladies done put out there. Yeah, Dobbs is the starting quarterback next week. Yeah. Man, it'll be a lot of hell raising. Check this out. It will be a lot of hell raising the Browns lose to Josh Dobbs and company, if they lose to Arizona next week, which I can't, how can I say this? I can't, what's the name? I can't actually put it in the bag with the Browns because if PJ Walker is starting, shit, he's a turnover machine. Mm. It's gonna be interesting next week. It's gonna be interesting next week. Hopefully, the Browns do something about that. Somebody getting fired if they lose. I don't blame you. You're right. Hey, they better not lose to Arizona next week, cause you you can be 5-3 heading into Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Dink. You can be 5-3 if you heading into Baltimore and Pittsburgh, but you cannot be 4-4 having to go to Baltimore, then having to come back to Pittsburgh in consecutive weeks. And more than likely, Deshaun Watson is not coming out that locker room in a uniform. He'll probably be coming out in civilian clothes. For real. Because he needs to get that arm rested up and everything. For real. And get it healed up. And it's not going to happen overnight. And to all those people that was commenting, talking about the dude don't want to play in anything like that for Cleveland, just shut the fuck up. For real. If he didn't want to play for Cleveland, he wouldn't have been on the sidelines basically coaching PJ Walker in the game against San Francisco. That didn't look like somebody that didn't want to be here to me. If he didn't want to be here, he wouldn't have went out there probably against his own better judgment last Sunday against Indianapolis and tried to give it a go. And if he didn't want to be here, he wouldn't have been in Seattle with his team on the sideline. So shut that up. Plus, if you really want to know the truth, Deshaun not the one you need to be worried about if this season falls off the rails. For real. You better worry about number 95 and number 21 and maybe number 24. Because truthfully, truth be told, number 24 might have took his last snap in the Cleveland Browns uniform against Pittsburgh. For real. Them the ones you need to be worried about. Deshaun gonna be here through hell and hot water. But the other three that's did time here, them the ones you need to be worried about whether they're gonna leave or not. And plus, Cleveland, our media and stuff like that, quit picking on our stars. Quit annoying them, asking them, do they really want to be here or not? If Deshaun is hurt, he can't play. His arm is a valuable asset. That's what he uses to get things done with. This is not 1980 where teams are running the option or the wing T offense. Gotta let that dude heal. You gotta let the man heal up. He left on a good note. When he got hurt in the Tennessee game, he had his best game as a Brown. The Indianapolis game, I ain't even gonna count that, for real. Because he probably shouldn't have been out there in the first place. And I will give Kevin a little bit of props on this, that he was the adult in the room that took him out. It shows that he learned from 2 years ago with another quarterback that we had, where he should have sat him down when dude's shoulder was about to fall off. But like I said, we gonna see if that front office and Jimmy Haslam is actually serious about winning. Come on, Jimmy, you gotta make a splash. You gotta got to get in his front office ass and get a quarterback in here. Hell, you went all in with Milwaukee and got Dame Lillard. It's time for you to go all in here right now. Here. Fuck that. Plus, also, I want to give Miles Garrett a shout out for purchasing a small stake in the Cavs franchise. Miles, they might need you, buddy. Kabadi's falling like wet for the Cavs. And also, shout out to the Ohio State Buckeyes, who went into Wisconsin in a hostile environment and pulled it out yesterday, 24-10, and are now 8-0 and probably won't move up in the rankings. They'll probably still remain number 3 behind Georgia and the Cheaters, Michigan. Oh, did I say that? Damn. Wasn't even supposed to say that. Oh, better keep my mouth closed. But they're number 3. And Ohio State got Rutgers coming up next week. So shout out to the Buckeyes. Keep doing the damn thing. Hey, it's national championship or bust. As far as we're concerned in Ohio, Big Ten titles don't count. But anyway, I'd like to thank all you that have chimed in and watched. I appreciate y'all. Hey, comment more. Holla at a brother. I'm up here chilling, especially when I'm by myself. Holla at a brother. Holla, comment, get your chime in. Like I said, unfortunately, the Browns did some Cleveland type shit. Let a game that was in the grass all of a sudden fall into Seattle's hands. And Seattle won 24-20. Sending the Browns to 4-3. Seattle's 5-2. They're in first place in the NFC West. And the Browns are still in third place in the AFC North at 4-3. Next week, the Browns face a familiar friend, Josh Dobbs and the Arizona Cardinals, as they come to the land next week. And like I said, stay tuned in these next 2 days. It's trick or treat. Browns, you got to find somebody good in that quarterback seat until Deshaun Watson gets right. For real. Until he gets healthy. And matter of fact, all the media and stuff, leave Deshaun the fuck alone. Let my dude heal up. Let him heal up. All these people talking whether he wants to play or not, or he faking and all that, and probably the same bitch ass motherfuckers that'll call off just because they nose running. But anyway, I'm about to be out of here. Y'all have a good night. Be safe. And for Halloween, be safe out there trick-or-treating for the kiddies, with the kiddies. And make sure you check all the kiddies' candy to make sure everything is safe. And if you out there trick-or-treating, you know what I mean, adult trick-or-treating, be safe as well. Inspect your package. Inspect your package and make sure everything is clean. Everything is cool. That's just my words from the Triad Committee talking right there. But anyway, this your man Keith Allen for Locked On Sports 216. Also tomorrow, check me out on the We Like Sports show with me, Ed in Columbus, and Casey in Tampa. I don't know what we got in store, but I do got a segment on the show. It's called Real to Real, and I don't know what my reel going to be about. For real. I don't know what my reel going to be about. But, I know what my reel going to be about. You'll see. Probably a little repetition of it today. But my reel to real for tomorrow, I got a segment in the show. So check a brother out. I'll share it on the Locked On Sports page. And I'll also share it on the Allen Viz Media Facebook page. And it'll be on YouTube as well. But, hey, y'all have a good night. Be safe. Get a good night's sleep. Hope y'all have a good work week. And I'll see you all tomorrow on Mad Mondays. Peace and see you soon. This is Keith Allen for Locked On Sports 216, Browns post-game show, and I'm out.